I'm Laura, and today we are going to start our first workout in our series of beginner level workouts. These workouts are not going to have any jumping around, no high intensity intervals. We're just going to build some basic strength, some endurance that will take you to the next level of fitness and get you moving. So today we're going to start with 6 exercises. The equipment that you need, you'll need a set of dumbbells. Now obviously the heavier you go with your dumbbell, the harder that will be. So I'm going to do 10 pounds, but I might start with 8. And I'm going to use a step. If you don't have one of these, you can use the bottom step on a staircase or anything that you might be able to step up on safely. I'm going to use chairs, and I'm also going to use a table, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to start with our chair squats. We're going to be alternating lower body and upper body. So our first exercise is for the lower body, and this is called a chair squat. It's a squat, but we use a chair for 2 things. One, as something to reach for so that we go deep enough into our squat. And then the second chair in front of me is for support if I need it. So I can hang on to this for balance. I can hang on to this if I need a little help getting back up as I get more tired. So you're going to stand with your feet about hip distance apart, and you're going to stand nice and tall, and you're going to sit back, keeping your chest lifted, and then you're going to stand. So basically, I'm trying to lower down and tap the chair, but I don't actually sit, and then I breathe out as I stand, keeping my knees in line with my toes, and I'm going to aim for between 10 and 15 repetitions. So if you're brand new to exercise and 10 is enough, then you stop there. But if you're feeling good and 15, you can get up to 15, that's great too. Now I don't have to use this chair. So when I'm ready to make this more challenging, I'm going to keep my arms forward so that I keep my chest lifted, and I'm going to lower down without using the chair. And then of course the next modification would be to maybe get rid of that, or even aim for something that's a little bit lower. You might have a chair that's lower than that, your couch might be lower, or you can take that out altogether. The really nice thing safety-wise about this is that if I get down here and my legs start to feel quivery, I can sit down. So I don't want you to be way in front of that chair where it's not there for you. I want you to stand close to it so you can sit down if needed. And if you've got any challenges with your knees or your ankles or your hips, that is sometimes very much needed. There's nothing wrong with that. We're doing this at home. We're all going to progress at our own pace. So do what you can. Chair squats, aim for probably 12 to 15 is a great start, because in the beginning we're building endurance. So more repetitions are better, but not super, super high. So 12 to 15 will be plenty. I am going to grab my dumbbells for exercise number 2. So now we're into upper body. I want you to hold your weights, palms forward. If you don't have dumbbells, you can have empty milk jugs that you fill with water or sand. You could use cans of soup. Anything that has a little bit of weight to it is fine. Your knees are going to be a little bit soft, and you're going to stand nice and tall, and you're simply going to curl those weights up, breathing out, and resist it on the way down. So again, we're aiming for our 10 reps, 12 reps, 15. Breathe out. Knuckles, not fingertips, knuckles facing the ceiling at the top. Knees slightly bent, abs are engaged. So when we talk about abs being engaged, I want you to pull this in a little bit as if someone wants to push you and you're resisting that. So you don't have to squeeze as tight as possible, but you keep those tight so that, a little bit tight so that you feel sturdy. So those are your bicep curls. Exercise 3 is a step up. Now, I have a step because I work at a gym, but if you don't have one, like I said, you probably have at least one step in your house that you can use. This is about the same height. This might be a little lower than the bottom step on my staircase, or if you have a stool that's really sturdy and you push it against the wall, always be safe with this. You're going to place the entire foot on top of the bench, and you're going to press mostly through the heel, and you're going to step up and you're going to tap. Now you notice we do this a little bit, so there's balance involved in these exercises too, which is great. All right, you're going to stay on the same leg and repeat. So up, tap, or stand if you need to recover your balance, down, stand. But same leg leads up each time. And then you're going to repeat that on the other leg. If you want to add resistance and make it a little bit harder, you can hold your dumbbells in your hands at the same time. If repeating on the same leg is a little bit challenging, alternate legs. So you can go up on the right and then up on the left, because that gives each leg a slight break as you alternate. So that's an easier version. A little bit harder is repeating on the same leg, which doesn't feel so bad at rep 4, but by the time you're at 8 or 9, you really start to feel it on that leg. So that's a step up. I love that exercise because it's extremely practical because we do stairs, right? Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to do a push-up. Several variations. We are not doing push-ups on the floor because I want you to pick a variation where you can do a full push-up. So that might be starting with your hands on the wall. I'm going to do it today with my hands on a table, which would be sort of the next step down. So I have this table. My hands are a little bit wider than shoulder width. If I have them really close, that's a tricep push-up, and those are much more advanced. So we're going to start a little bit wider. I'm going to aim to keep my body fairly straight, and I'm going to inhale down and then breathe out and press back. The beautiful thing about doing push-ups with the table is that you can do full range and get your chest pretty low. And like I said, sometimes we start on the wall. If we start out on the floor, even on our knees, we might only be able to go this far down. We can't usually touch our chest to the floor. I've been doing push-ups for years, and I have a hard time touching my chest to the floor. So I prefer that we do full range and really develop those muscles. So once this becomes too easy in a couple weeks, then you can put your hands on your couch, on a chair, something a little bit lower, down on my step, and ultimately we'll go to the floor. For right now, let's do full range. I have someone doing that because she couldn't do regular push-ups. She's now up to 50 on the countertop. Time for her to take it down. If you can do 50, you can go a little bit lower. That's a lot of push-ups. But again, we're just aiming for our 12 to 15 repetitions. Okay, exercise 5. I'm going to use my chair again because this is for balance. We're going to do a side leg raise. So we're going to keep our legs straight. We're also going to keep our knee pointed forward, so we're not rotating and trying to lift the leg as high as possible. The goal isn't as high as you can. The goal is to access the right muscles. So you're here, a light touch for balance, and then you're going to lift the side leg out and then resist it down. Now we can kick it up, and there's not a whole lot going on there. You'll feel it, but the greater challenge then is to lift the side leg, pause, and lower it down. Now what you're going to find is you're going to feel it on the outside of the leg that you're lifting, but you're feeling a lot on the leg that is supporting. And by now, we've already done 2 leg exercises. So you're going to feel some fatigue. And you'll do all repetitions on one side and then all repetitions on the other side. If that is too easy, or when that gets too easy, now you're going to lift 3, 2, 1, and then lower. So that simple way to make it a little bit harder for those of you who need that. This is fantastic because some people, if you have knee issues and your knees are going side to side when you walk or things like that, we don't want that motion. This builds up those muscles that support the joint and keep them moving and tracking the way they should. So that's a great exercise. And then the last one. Exercise 6 is going to be a bent over row. You're going to grab just one dumbbell. You're going to hinge forward and place a hand on something that's high enough that you're not way down here. Okay, so I want a chair or even something a little bit higher. And you're going to let that hang, but you're not going to let it hang so far that you're pulling your shoulder out of joint. Keep this lifted, keep this really strong. Knees are slightly bent. And you're going to breathe out and row it right up to your rib cage. And again, you want to resist down. It's not work and release. It's work and work. Because then you're getting a lot more benefit out of that. You're going to row it, I like to say, right up to the rib cage, like you're starting an old-fashioned lawnmower. I still have a pull rototiller, and it's a beast to pull. So you're going to breathe out and then breathe in. Also, when I see people getting tired, this happens. They start to let their head hang. That's no good. I want you to keep your neck in line with your spine. So wherever your back is going, your neck follows. So you're hinging at the hips, keeping your abs engaged, and breathing out. You're going to do your 12 to 15 on one arm, and then you're going to turn, and I would turn my chair around or face the other way, and repeat on the other arm. So we've gotten legs, front, back, sides, and glutes with the step-ups. We've gotten biceps, we've gotten chest muscles, and there's definitely shoulder. Push-ups hit everything. They hit upper back, chest, shoulders, triceps. 12 to 15 repetitions, and I want you to rest from 30 to 60 seconds after every set. So you do a set of bicep curls, and then you rest. And then you go to exercise 2. Okay, so that's all written out for you. Check that. Refer back to this video when you need reminders on how to do proper form, and I will see you next time with your very next workout.